We've never had pressure like this. Surfers might be falling off the tour.
The cut is officially here.
Dreams will be broken today. Falling short, you can see the disappointment.
A heartbreak situation.
A look of anguish, certainly not safe now.
Qualifiers from around the world have been decided. The mid-year cut is complete. It's time for veterans, for newcomers, and for phenoms to battle it out and prove they are destined for the 2023 Championship Tour. We start here, Australia's Gold Coast, home to some of the world's premier performance waves, as we begin the fight amongst tour hopefuls. It's time for the Challenger Series to kick off at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro, presented by Rip Curl.
Nothing left to lose now. Everything to prove now. Long as I'm alive, I'ma fight back. My fire never cools down. I'm about to catch fire. Yeah, I'm about to catch fire. Get ready for the new me. Get ready for the new me. Try to hold me down and I go higher. Try to put me out and I go wilder. I'm a fighter, a survivor. Stand back while I catch fire.
Good morning. Energy levels are high in anticipation of a start here at the very first Challenger Series event for 2022. The Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro, presented by Rip Curl. Big names enter the mix. Surfers with those heartbreaking early round losses over there at Margaret River will look to rise from the ashes and make a big charge up the leaderboard early on here as we dive into what is going to be a long and hard-fought battle for qualification for the Championship Tour. And there is also some of those big name CT surfers that made it above the cut line, rejoining the Challenger Series to stay sharp and of course to not miss the opportunity to surf snapper rocks. And the waves do look good. Owen Wright making the statement that he's going to chase the Challenger Series this year, which is fantastic. And Liam O'Brien making a competitive return. Had a chat to him yesterday. He's absolutely ripping his skin off to get out there and give it a good run. Good morning, everyone. Ronnie Blakey joined by Shannon Hughes and Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew, the king of the Gold Coast. Bugs, thanks for having us back, mate.
Oh, it's great. Good morning, everyone. And wow, what an amazing lineup we've got here. This is just going to be such a battle from Heat 1 for 6 long days of unbelievable surfing.
Obviously, Margaret River, completely different setup. Big, raw, open ocean. Here, it's a lot more groomed. Shannon, you got the chance to have a surf out there yesterday. How fun was it?
Oh, it's just so fun. I mean, the speed that you get down the line is unbelievable here at Snapper Rocks, down into Rainbow Bay as well, and it's going to be a really great venue to just see a different playing field for our surfers out there.
Bugs, the performance levels, where are they at? I mean, the waves really started to come on yesterday afternoon, but it's been a good run of quality surf up here for a while now.
Yeah, there's been a good season. The sand's great, and we've had a lot of east swell. It's gone a little bit more east-southeast today, but it's really super connected to what it was like even yesterday morning. And this brings out the best in everyone surfing. So everyone's going to be at the top of their game.
Yeah, really high performance stuff. I think the other great thing about this contest, it is the first Challenger Series event, but with that stacked field, does have that Championship Tour feel, that vibe to it.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, we see with the early arrivals, just some of the biggest names in the world are here. Many of those that have qualified for 2023 are here as well. Everyone wants to have a go at snapper.
It's true, yeah. Shannon, that's a great point that Bugs brings up. Obviously, in the past, you've had to really qualify to get that opportunity to surf with maybe 3 others or one other person out there in the lineup. Chatting to some of the new up-and-comers, those regional qualifiers, how are they feeling about that?
Oh, they're just so excited. I mean, like Bug said, it's Snapper. It's one of the best waves in the world. It's got just this great feeling anytime you get a wave out there, whether it's in the Jersey or not. So the fact to have it cleaned out, given that most days of the week this spot has more surfers than anywhere in the world, is just a great opportunity in itself. And then with that, it is a wave that really just suits bringing out the best in everyone surfing.
Definitely. Bugs up. It's funny that there's so many Championship Tour surfers in the mix, and it's going to take a Championship Tour performance to win this contest. Have you seen the level from those regional qualifiers lifting through those warm-up sessions.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is like they're going to, the seasoned vets and the pros, those that are just coming to have a go at snapper, they're going to meet some hungry lions and lionesses. I mean, it is really on. There's some great surfing in the warm-ups.
Well, you can see what's unfolding behind us when you look at the host set here. Let's find out what's to come on day one of the event window here at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro, presented by Rip Curl. Good morning, Stace.
Good morning, Ron. Morning, team. You guys are looking magical there this morning. I'm standing here with Will Hayden-Smith, who's got the easiest job in pro surfing. Will, what are we doing today, mate? Are we on?
Yeah, we're on 100%. The waves are looking really fun, and we've got a pretty good forecast for the next few days. And I'm sure during the day the commentators are going to be talking about how good the bank is. The bank's incredible. It doesn't take much to light it up. So we're going to start with men's round 1. We've got heats 1 to 18 in the water, 30-minute heats. So let's go.
The bank is amazing. You could absolutely set your watch to it. A lot of hard work's gone on in this event, Will. You must be stoked to see it finally underway.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday that 2019 was the last time we were here, but we didn't even run a heat at Snapper that year. So to be on with good waves at Snapper Rocks, it feels incredible. The team here has done a great job. And I'd really like to acknowledge all the regional tours around the world to qualify this elite group of athletes that we've got here. So thanks to all the WSL staff around the world for putting on those regional QSs. And the field is amazing. Every heat is stacked, and I'm sure they're going to put on a show.
Thanks so much, Will. It's going to be an amazing day.
We'll be talking to you, Stace. Thank you, mate. And very excited to hear that we're going to get through those first 18 heats of the men's round. It is a lot longer than that. Goes to 24 heats. It's a stacked field, 96 surfers in the mix. Let's find out how they got here, and also on the women's side, how many surfers we can look forward to watching battle it out here. This is how it works. The 2022 Challenger Series, taking the top 10 men and 5 women from this Challenger Series onto the 2023 Championship Tour. It's going to be a lot of fun, Shannon, with 8 events on the schedule.
That's right. Out of those 8 events, it's going to be the top 5 results that count towards the rankings at the end of the year to qualify for the 2023 Championship Tour. We're starting out with those 96 men. We've got 64 women in the draw. We've got a handful of surfers that are coming off of that championship tour, as well as surfers from 7 WSL regions, 58 men and 43. Some that will be newer names, some that we're familiar with that got really close to qualification last year.
That's right. And 4 men's and 4 women's event wildcards, and any unused CT spots will then become wildcards as well. And there is definitely some people kind of hanging around, great surfers hanging around the competition area, just waiting to see if those spots do become available. Well, let's have a look at the schedule. This is really exciting for up-and-comers, especially, as we mentioned earlier, starting here at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro, presented by Rip Curl.
Yeah, it's an amazing lineup. I mean, this tour within itself is awesome. I mean, this whole Challenger Series concept is just one of the most fantastic initiatives that the WSL has taken.
Yeah, I really like it. I love the fact that we're going to taking the contest to some of the city beaches. Manly's really excited. Bolito, that's surfed up some really high quality waves in the past. The US Open of Surfing, the Vans US Open of Surfing, Shannon, is just an event that has been on the calendar for so long. And when you look at the honour roll for that event, you can see why we're returning. It's one of the sport's greats. Oh,
it really is. You couldn't really run a year of competitive surfing, especially in that qualifying series conversation, or now the Challenger Series in that upper echelon of that side of qualifying, without having the U.S. Open there. I also love that we're heading back to Europe. We've got Portugal and France on the mix. We're going to Saquarema to Brazil, and then finishing in Hawaii.
Yeah, Haleiwa, and what a place to finish with a condensed field. It's going to be awesome. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to have a look how the Superbank is formed, and also look at some great past highlights here. Welcome back to the Gold Coast Pro. Boost Mobile coming on board for this one, presented by Rip Curl. Great to have their support, and we're just moments away from getting the competition back underway. You can see the lineup incredibly stacked. Everyone's psyching. The Boost Mobile Pro Gold Coast has finally arrived, and I can't wait to see these first heats. We've got CT surfers entering the lineup straight away, Shannon.
Oh, it's so exciting to see names like Sammy Pupo coming up in that first heat, just gained that made it past the mid-season cut in his rookie year. What a great name to come up within that first heat.
Most definitely, yeah. And when you look at the honour roll for this contest, I mean, it's come in different forms here on the Gold Coast surfing, professional surfing bugs, but you've got to wind the clock back all the way to Michael Peterson, victorious in the stubbies, and then when you wind the clock back just a couple of years, Italo Ferreira getting a win here on his world title run.
Yeah, the Gold Coast has always been a host of a major event, starting with the Stubbies Classic at Burleigh Heads, and there were some great ones at Kira. Then, of course, the move to the Snapper Rocks as the home when it was the Quicksilver Pro.
And we've got former winners in the event. Julian Wilson winning in 2018. Owen Wright, the amazing comeback victory. And then look at Kelly Slater. How greedy has he been here on the Gold Coast? So many wins, and we're going to have a look at some of those amazing highlights for Slater from earlier on in his career and, well, right up until 2011 when he won it pumping surf, and 2013 too. He racked them up all over the place.
Just incredible performances from Kelly over the years. I mean, such just iconic surfing that we saw from him here at Snapper, and I love seeing that he's back in the draw bugs. Yeah,
look, it's really awesome to have the 11-time world champion here, and obviously a lot of those earlier victories were at Burleigh. You know, Kira, Burleigh, Snapper. You know, Kelly's right at home. He, as I said, it brings out the best in everyone, and he's the best.
Yeah, amazing to have him in the mix here, and he spent some time up here on the Gold Coast as well. He really does love it here, and he's got a lot of close family friends, and I'm sure he'll relish the opportunity to compete here at Snapper Rocks one more time. Another surfer that we're really interested to see compete is Julian Wilson. Took a hiatus from professional surfing, announced that toward the end of last season, Shannon, but yeah, he's going to be making a comeback in an event where he's been victorious in the past.
Oh, it's so great to see Julian, heading back out in the jersey, coming back from that time spent with family, not wanting to be away with just long weeks and months away traveling over the last year or so. It's great to see him coming back, especially that he won pretty recently back in 2018.
Yeah, I think the quarantine had a big part to play, having to isolate for a couple of weeks when you were returning home. Julian found it hard with his young family. I think all the surfers did. But he was just ready for a break. But these are the amazing highlights from the win. The contest moved down towards Kira Bugs, and Julian found the wave of the event.
Oh, yeah, Julian Akira is a sight to behold. And, of course, he's back at Snapper. I remember when he was a young kid from the Sunshine Coast, got a wild card out here at Snapper and put on a show and really announced his arrival.
Yeah, it was awesome, but it is going to be intriguing to see what level of performance he is at after that break. I'm sure he's fine, but there's just nothing quite like being around the company of other Championship Tour surfers to keep your level up. So we'll look forward to that a little later in this first round. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to have a look at some former winners here on the women's side, and also talk about who's going to be a major threat. The waves are firing here on day one of the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro, presented by Rip Curl, and we're just moments away from getting competition. The first round for the men underway, but before we do that, we want to have a look at some of the big names that are in the draw for the women's event, and there's none bigger than Stephanie Gilmore here on the Gold Coast and all over the world, in fact, but has won this contest so many times, Shannon.
Oh, she's won 6 times. It's amazing to see those sort of numbers behind a name that we just want to see surf a fast right-hand point.
Exactly. It's also a big opportunity. It's going to be tough for those aspiring qualifiers to overcome the likes of Stephanie Gilmore and Tyler Wright, who's in the mix as well. But Bugs, it's also a huge opportunity to make a statement, to beat one of your heroes.
Well, this is going to be amazing because, you know, for Stephanie, I mean, many times she's used this event to launch a world title campaign. This is a wholly different scenario, but she just has to sort of dawdle down the hill from her place and surf her home break.
Amazing, and she might do that again. She might use this event as a real confidence builder for the championship tour. But Steph, a 6-time winner, this is where she claimed her first CT victory way back in 2005, cutting school on her road to the final, and that maiden win, and she's just been collecting them ever since.
Oh, she just hasn't stopped. I mean, literally from that rookie season, just incredible to see her find momentum so early on. And I think that's such a cool storyline too, thinking of those new names that get to come up against Steph. The names that Steph was matching up against at that stage in her career would have been monumental for her to take out in those events. And now we've got brand new event and brand new names coming into this contest that are going to be looking down to take down the local here at her home break.
I had a chat to Steph yesterday during the press conference. She said that, you know, the wins are a lot harder to come by these days on the CT. They're going to be a lot harder to come by here at Snapper Rocks this year too, because it's a ravenous field of up-and-comers. We saw the talent of the rookies on the CT this year. Many of them are still in the mix. I believe they're all competing here. So it is going to be difficult, and they're going to have a real point to prove.
Yeah, they're all going to be in the draw. I mean, even Gabriella Bryan, who's just made that midseason cut and taken away a second-place finish at Margaret River, she's here. She's ready to go for that opening round heat, and it's going to be really exciting just to see how they fare, how those newer surfers, those that have just jumped up from the regional qualifying series, how they go against those women with some championship tour experience.
Yep, I really like Steph's chances here. You put her on a point break, sand bottom point break. She's going to have a fantastic chance at winning. She proved that last year in the last CT stop, Mexico, getting her most recent victory. But let's talk about Tyler Wright too, because she won Bells Beach, Bugs, just a month ago, and she's just looking so on point, has that great variation, and she's also claimed a couple of wins here.
Tyler looks fantastic out of Snapper, and this year she looks to be showing a lot of intent with that huge win at Bells, and now Snapper, she loves it here. Again, it'll be intimidating for all the rising surfers to come up against the names like Tyler and Stephanie and Sally. I mean, this is just a fantastic opportunity for everybody.
It is. Tyler, Bugs mentioned it then, Shannon. She's looking really determined this year. In the past, she's kind of let go of her losses quite easily, looked completely unfazed by them, but as she came up the stairs at Margaret River after losing to Molly Picklum, she kind of looked a little dissatisfied with the result, and that's strange to see with her.
Well, I think it's a great thing. I think we're seeing that hunger return to her to want to get another world title. She's already got 2. She wants to go for the 3rd this year.
Yeah, well, it could all start here. You know, this is a big confidence-building event. Has been. It's not a CT, but as we said earlier, it's got that CT vibe to it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially you know, the fact that we've been harping on about the depth in women's surfing now, Bugs. Yesterday we saw Sierra Kerr win through in the trials. What do you think about her chances in this event?
Well, Sierra, you know, the Kerrs, Snapper's one of their other homes, originally from here, obviously California as well. And Sierra's just one of those, she's on the leading edge of that exciting young brigade of surfers coming through. That she goes through the air. She's got an all-round game. She mightn't have the power on her surfing yet, but she can put it together out here.
Saw her have a couple of great rides in the warm-up session yesterday afternoon, so expecting big things from her. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have a closer look at the mechanics behind this wave.
Next to those servers, just move a bit past their hip there. We'll be competition start very shortly.
In 2001, a sand bypassing system was introduced by the New South Wales and Queensland governments.
There was a deficient supply of sand because it was being trapped out on the Tweed Bar. The bypass is that it gets pumped under the river to various outlets.
Through this supply of sand, the southern Gold Coast can enjoy hosting some of the world's best surfing competitions and beachside events.
The equation is surf plus sand equals success. We have some of the most famous point breaks on the planet Earth, but they need sand.
Welcome back. We're very lucky to have Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew with us on the commentary team this year, because Bugs was part of the advisory board that worked with the Tweed River Sand Bypass and took a big part in kind of almost campaigning for the surfers at different stages, Bugs.
Well, I mean, look, primarily this is the sand bypass is for the sand to bypass the mouth of the Tweed River. It's a New South Wales project. Queensland's the beneficiary of the sand coming out of Froggy's Beach, grooming the banks and Snapper and points north.
Yeah, let's bring up some vision and you can talk us through it, because it is a bit of a man-made miracle. It sort of added sand to a break that typically kind of dropped off into deep water here at Snapper Rocks as we zoom in here on the Gold Coast. And Bugs is going to take us through it, because you're really got your head around how the actual engineering of this system works.
Yeah, look, it is quite complex, but the simplicity of it is that the sand is bypassed underneath the Tweed River, the mouth there, because, I mean, that's a narrow mouth facing the southeast. Never was a safe bar. A lot of lives are lost on that. And there's a commercial fishing fleet whale watching. It goes to Froggy Beach, the first outlet in Queensland, and that actually feeds the sand through southeast wind swells and ground swells and predominant southerly winds in the season, and it just grooms it down through Snapper, Rainbow, Greenmount, Superbank on its way north.
Yeah, we had okay conditions yesterday morning for the trials. Your son made the semis, so close, Jagger, in making the event, Bugs, but you were talking about the ideal conditions. It kind of started to push subtly yesterday, didn't it?
Well, yesterday afternoon, after the trials finished, actually, the wind went offshore, and overnight we've had a little bit more east-southeast in the swell, and it's coming from about a more traditional behind the rock situation. You do have that wide bank. That's going to make it interesting. More opportunity in a four-man heat.
Yeah, it always makes it just so groomed, so clean when that sand flow starts to fill in here at Snapper Rock, Shannon, and we're just moments away from kicking off the first heat.
I just can't wait. I mean, the surf's been pumping for about a week leading up to it, so everyone's been able to get their fill. I think the locals are going to be excited to now watch the best in the world competing at one of the best waves. It's
going to be all time, and we've got a really, really great first heat to kick things off here at the first Challengers Series event for the year. The Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro, presented by Rip Curl. And Samuel Pupo is heading out, just punching through the lineup now. Really manageable conditions at the moment. That current's not too strong. It's not too much of a wrestle to stay up at the top of the rocks here. And our competitors, they'll make an absolute show of these kind of conditions.
Yeah, there is a little bit more current today though, Ronnie. You'll see them, they won't be able to sit there and rest around the rock. A little bit more southeast in it overnight, so there'll be a little bit of paddling going on for sure, and then you've either got the run around, the paddle back. It's a big workout.
I'm sure for Samuel Pupo it'll be a welcome change after battling quadruple overhead surf at Main Break Margaret River. And obviously shedding a bit of skin as well. These guys very comfortable in board shorts here at the moment. The water's a good temp, Bugs. It's just classic Gold Coast conditions.
It really is, Ronnie. It's board shorts. It's not the big heavy water of Margaret River, and it's quite, in comparison, it's user friendly for sure.
Set starting to roll through, and this first heat just about to get underway. It's going to be a 30-minute exchange. Each surfer will get their opportunities with that priority, and they're looking for two big numbers to earn themselves a place in the next round, the round of 48. And there's the lineup for Heat 1. CT talent and just performing rookie Samuel Pupo wasn't going to miss the opportunity to surf here at Snapper Rocks. Maikai Burdine, the young Hawaiian out here competing. Ian Gentile, seen a lot of his surfing over the years. Great talent, tall guy, plenty of power. And Crosby Colapinto, who gets his place in the draw via a wild card, didn't actually crack the top end of the regional qualifiers over there in North America. So very thankful to have this wild card opportunity. And he really does need to make fantastic use of it, Bugs. Otherwise, he's going to be in danger of missing the call up for potentially